Welcome back to the Alphabet Bash blog. We're here today with Michael Porter, Director of the University of St. Thomas Masters of Business Communication Program. To begin, I'd just like to say thank you for taking time out of your busy day to join us. And I'd also like to take an opportunity to thank the University of St. Thomas for being one of Alphabet Bash's A-level sponsors. It's key sponsors like this that are able to keep the Alphabet Bash going year after year. So thank you.
No problem.
To start, why don't you tell us a little bit about the university, maybe the goal of Opus College of Business, and some of the opportunities and programs that it offers to students.
Sure. We're more focused on the master's programs around over here, but the Opus College of Business is an AACSB accredited institution, which means it's in the top 500 worldwide business schools.
Wow.
And that's an accreditation that we just got a couple of years ago. The Master of Business Communication program is specifically a unique program in any business school. Near as we can figure, there's not another one quite like it. Where we're focusing on the needs of communicators who serve business. And surprise, surprise, that's what communicators do most of the time. So that becomes central to what we're trying to offer our students, particularly thinking in terms of how do communicators incorporate the context of business, the understanding and the theory behind what's going on in the business person's mind in a way that is not taught in a traditional communication program. So it's a meeting of the communication theory and the business theory and the application of communications in an applied business space. So that's what we do.
Great. Okay, great. Thank you. As an educator and a business professional yourself, what advice can you offer to students, new graduates, or anyone else looking to start a new career?
Well, you know, I think that the most important thing is getting out there and getting engaged. And by that I mean, you look at the organizations that are participating in the Alphabet Bash, and we see that at this program as an indicator of these are people who are engaged in their craft, in their community of professionals, and that is huge. That says a lot to a potential employer. It says that this person is committed to what they do beyond just getting a degree and wandering into a job someplace. It's not ticket punching. The other level of that I think is important for folks to consider is if you're going to join IEBC or PRSA or any of the other organizations that are part of Alphabet Bash, get involved. And it's one thing to go to meet and mingle and hang out, or go to the bash. But the real value of these organizations comes from participating on a committee, and that's where you have to start. You participate on a committee and you build a different level of relationships. And ultimately you end up working your way to the chair of a committee and maybe on the board and so on. And that's where the real value and the depth of those organizations really comes to fruition.
Yeah, great. In your personal opinion, is there a specific quality or skill that potential employers across the board might look for in a candidate?
You know, potential employers across the board. You know, I'm working with my son who's just graduated from school, and he's like, well, this person looked at my resume and they said I should change. Well, everybody has an opinion about resumes, about what you should do, and so on and so forth. I think that for me, and again, going back to how are you engaged and what are you doing? You're looking for work, but did you choose to flip burgers, or did you choose to work for a guerrilla marketing company? My son works for a guerrilla marketing company well, it's better to work for the guerrilla marketing company if you want to do marketing kinds of things eventually.
Sure.
When I was at that stage, I worked for Burke Market Research. Now, I wasn't actually creating the surveys, but I was implementing them.
Okay.
And the value of that experience didn't really come to fruition in my career till later. But it was certainly better than flipping burgers. So if if you haven't gotten that first job, do something that relates. Volunteer someplace at a nonprofit you care about. It gives you experience, and not just experience that works on paper. It's experience that will come and help you later on when you go, oh, I've been here before.
Sure.
And so that's part of it. And then I've got to come back to being engaged in the organizations. And that initiative, wherever you put it, I think is something that people look for.
Okay, great. That's really helpful. I guess to end on this, we're talking about networking, and so let's bring Alphabet Bash back in.
Sure.
Why does University of St. Thomas see this as a valuable opportunity for students not only in communications or marketing and advertising, but any student?
Well, it's great for this program because as I mentioned earlier, we sort of think that people who want an advanced degree are more likely to be people who are already committed to their craft and their area of expertise.
Yep.
Well, the associations that are part of Alphabet Bash, that's an outward and visible sign that they're there and they're engaged and so on. So from that standpoint, I think it's important.
Great.
From the other side of it, it's a great opportunity for our students to come back and be in the same room with our alumni.
Yeah.
And it's a great, it's a good party. And so it's an opportunity to exchange a level of networking. I was having a conversation earlier today about, well, how are you supposed to network at this? Well, Alphabet Bash is, for me, the best kind of networking. If you are there with old friends, meeting new friends, and so on. If you wanted to walk in the door and walk out with business like they try and do at a lot of networking events, that's not what this is about. And if you have been engaged in these organizations for as long as I have, then the room, it's like Old Home Week. Well, every time you turn around, there's somebody new to talk to, and all of those people are talking to somebody else. Now, to go back to your questions about, you're new to the market, you're new out of school, well, what do? Well, go up and approach and talk to somebody.
Yep.
I was at a PRSA meeting at Christmas time, and a person new to the market, never been to an association meeting here before, and walked in and went straight for the table I was standing at, and I'm standing there with David Hickinson, who runs Fleischman Hillard here in town. Well, he didn't know us, we didn't know him, but he came in and put it on the table and said, this is who I am, this is what I've been doing, what do you think? And so we referred him to other people in the room that might be helpful and so on. But I think a lot of times new people to the market they don't take that initiative, and it's hard. It's not easy to walk up to strangers and try and make a conversation, but you have to do it. And because he did that, we were a little more confident saying, hey, go talk to this person, go do these things.
Sure.
And it's not offensive to say hi.
Good advice. On that note, thank you for taking the time to talk to us
You're
today.
welcome.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks.